Saguaro boy.
Hey guys, this is Alex. This is the first episode of Indie Play, where we're going to take a look at indie games that are in development or have been newly released. We get approached a lot by indie game studios that want us to cover their games, and it's something we haven't really delved into yet, but we're hoping to do more of because we love indie games, and frankly, a lot of the time they're way, way better than big studio games that come out nowadays. In this first episode, we're going to take a look at the game called Second Chance Heroes. At the time of this recording, it's up on Steam Greenlight, still awaiting the actual Greenlight, but it's mid-process, and there's a lot of buzz about it on there. People seem very interested in it. It's made by Rocket City Studios. They approached us asking if we want to participate in kind of a semi-closed beta weekend that they were doing. This game is a hack and slash action game, kind of an arcade style PC game, very co-op, multiplayer oriented, but sadly Chris does not have a good gaming rig at the moment, so instead I played with my wife so I could still get the full co-op experience instead of just playing it solo.
I sure do thank you for searching for Mad Mulligan.
So the premise of the game is that multiple famous historical figures, which would be the heroes, I guess, have been cloned and brought back to life so that they can save the post-apocalyptic, destroyed, zombie-infested world. Pretty crazy concept, obviously, well-suited to an arcade game, and it's this sort of context where you don't really question it when you're playing the game. And in any other more serious context, you would be like, this is stupid, but in an arcade hack and slash context, it's just awesome and really well-suited. The first characters that you can choose from are Abe Lincoln, Joan of Arc, Queen Elizabeth I, and Napoleon. So each character has their own kind of specialty. Right off the bat, this game screamed Gauntlet Legends to me. It's got that same feel. Anybody who likes those kind of arcade action RPGs will love this game. It's a pretty direct translation of the gameplay of Gauntlet Legends, with some more modern graphics, obviously, and a little more advanced mechanics than Gauntlet Legends had. But it's the same thing. You pick your hero, you play through the levels, you kill stuff and collect points, and then you spend those points to upgrade your character. Abe Lincoln is kind of a melee DPS, I guess you would say. He has a chainsaw, and you just click and hold the mouse, and it's just on. So I basically had the mouse held most of the time, just walking around, mowing stuff down. His special attack is a spinning attack. The other character that I chose to start with was Joan of Arc, which I found out soon was a mistake because she's also a melee class, and she does more concentrated damage than Abe Lincoln, but she has no range either. So there's certain enemies that are easier to deal with a ranged character, so at least from what I can tell, it seems like it would be advantageous to have a primary character that's like a melee and then a secondary character that's a ranged, just to be able to handle different situations.
I'm near death. Oh, what a lovely elixir.
The game's graphics are really reminiscent of kind of that WoW Torchlight style of graphics, where it's not really cel-shaded, but it kind of looks like a 3D version of a cartoon. Especially for an indie studio, I was really impressed with the graphics in this. They're sharp, they're stylized, and they do the job really well. I had no slowdown in the frame rate. Honestly, didn't even encounter any bugs when I played, so for a beta of an indie game, I was completely floored by the overall quality of this. There's an amount of polish and professionalism in this game that I don't see in some major titles that come out. I mean, props to them for that, because it's impressive. The voice acting for the characters is pretty cool. It has that tongue-in-cheek pop culture referential style of humor. All the different characters have catchphrases that they cycle through when you're killing stuff that are almost all pop culture references. Like Queen Elizabeth says stuff that sounds like Julia Child, and Abe Lincoln says kind of Duke Nukem-esque quotes, and it really adds to kind of the humor and the comedy of it. It's sort of like a Evil Dead movie or something where it's extremely grim and gory, but at the same time funny, and I can appreciate that. It's kind of a hit or miss thing, but that felt pretty spot on when I was playing. I even chuckled a little bit during some of the quotes.
A body divided from its head cannot stand.
Even though the game follows kind of a tried and true formula for an action arcade style game, there were a few twists and turns along the way that kind of surprised us and were neat little details. The first of which was the fight with Mad Mulligan, which you're going through a door into what you just anticipate to be the next room in the dungeon, but it actually is a wrestling ring. And there's an audience of all the zombies there cheering you on. And at first it seems like you're supposed to attack them, but then you realize that they're just the audience and you're the main attraction. All in all, Second Chance Heroes is an amazing indie game. I highly encourage that you sign up for the beta. I highly encourage that you go on their Steam Greenlight page and help get them on Steam, because this is an awesome game that deserves to be seen and played, and the developers deserve to be supported for making such a great game. I'm going to be spending as much time as I can with this beta this weekend, and I look forward to seeing how this all plays out. I'm sure they will get greenlit because it's a really, really polished, amazing experience that they've created.
Not again. Hands off the hat.